Hey buddies, it's your Ninja Thunder Z96 and today, I will be listing out the best demand of the month and probably for the next few months as well for some with regards to some items that I will be listing out later. Before that, for those who are new to this channel, remember to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so that you won't miss out any trade demand guides. Please do watch till the end of the video and do not skip this video because it will include reasonings as to why it's considered good or best demand in Trade Resort. Also disclaimer, all these demands are based mainly on Discord and general reaction in Trade Resort with regards to a particular Loomian or item offered. If you personally like that Loomian without thinking about the demand, it is always a win even though you have overpaid for one. I will start talking about the good demand for event Loomians and followed by normal Loomians, alphas, gammas and lastly items. Firstly for event Loomians. Coming at top 3 best demand of the month goes to Nevermare in all forms, which is normal, alpha and gamma version. Amongst all of the event roams, Nevermare is one of the most well-received response by the Loomian community because of 3 reasons. The alpha and gamma version of it looks decent. A normal Nevermare is decent for PvP and we do not need an SA1. Lastly, Nevermare's design and saddle looks cool in general as compared to other event roams. Because of that, there are still players overpaying for one. Also, I believe some of us always had school exams or schooling on October, so during that period, there won't be many players playing it as compared to Christmas event. Hence, the number of Halloween Loomians must be lower than other event Loomians in general. Moving on to the second best event Loomian demand and it goes to the new Cosmeors in Gamma and Gleam versions. If you don't know what are the new Cosmeors, they were pink, brown, orange and teal colors that are recently added to the game for a couple of weeks I believe. I strongly believe Milo might be coming back on the second half of the event and so, be sure to collect those meteorites and stockpile them if Milo ever comes back like the last Cosmeor event. Undeniably, during all event updates, we have always see a constant pattern about it where players were racing to collect those new Gleam and Gamma Cosmeors and stockpile them, in hope for a raise in values in the future. As such, there's a lot of demand for new Gleam and Gamma Cosmeor colors. There might also be some demand on older colors and new colors as well, so you can try and sell the normal ones as much as possible during the event before the hype died down after 2 weeks from the event. Alright. Lastly, the top 1 best demand of the month and probably for a long period of time goes to Halloween Dusket. Not going to lie, the Halloween event in 2020 is probably one of the best events and the most notable Halloween Loomian that everyone likes is the Halloween Dusket. First, Halloween Dusket has a special fire effect and its color variations allows players to choose their own personalized favorite Dusket. Second, Dusket's saddle is probably one of the best saddles out there in terms of design and I strongly believe that the amount of players who bought Dusket's saddle increased greatly ever since the Halloween Dusket was out. Lastly, pure positive nature Halloween Dusket acts as a good hunting tool for harmonization. Not to mention that it's capable of using spare as well, many players have been using Dusket to hunt. Moving on to the best demand amongst normal Loomians only. Top 5 best demand goes to high-level Loomians with the move spare on it. This is very commonly seen when there's an event which is happening right now and there are always players at the Trade Resort who will be overpaying it for one. If you want to make a profit on it, you can actually train a few calf notes or joltooths without caring about the training points and sell them during events, especially when there are soft reset roams that were difficult to catch. Moving on to top 4 best demand and it goes to SA Protogun or SA Ragoon. These two are basically common hunting tools to identify SA in the wild. Many players are willing to overpay for it in order to identify whether Pyramids or SA or not before deciding to run away from it. You should know that SA Protogun worth a lot more than an SA Ragoon. Alright. The top 3 best demand goes to Loomians who can one-shot the heavy bag at gym rats and most preferably it would be a high-level, very brawny Tatab with 200 training points on melee attack with a power cuff equipped just to make sure it will 100% one-shot it using jungle jitsu. Many players are looking for this because it was a cheaper option as compared to a TP-trained SA Colossotrops. Other Loomians that players are looking out for would be a very brawny Meatytoad with Mega Punch, Mutagon and a very brawny Resolin, more preferably an SA1 with Adaptive Assault. The top 2 best demand goes to PvP and SA PvP in general. Depending on which Loomians however, it might be difficult to say. There are players who wish to trade PvP for PvP in order to exchange for other PvP to try it out on Battle Coliseum. And there are players who desperately needs a specific set of PvP Loomian for a good deal. For traders who really wanted to sell PvP for a profit or upgrades, it might be very difficult to sell off to players who wanted specific sets. As such, you can always look up at famous PvP YouTubers out there and follow their sets to sell it off. Same goes to SA PvP Loomians, but to take note that some SA PvP Loomians may not be that popular in the PvP community and thus, demand-wise might be bad. In general, PvP and SA PvP are commonly demanded in Trade Resort and on Discord as well. Lastly, the top 1 best demand of the month goes to Pure Smart, Pure Nimble or Pure Robust Dusket. All these are Cosmior's ideal nature for PvP and players are overpaying right now during this time alright. After the event, you won't be able to see players overpaying for it because they were not desperate in need for one. If I were to rank among the Duskets in terms of nature, I would say Pure Smart Dusket first and follow by Pure Nimble and lastly Pure Robust one. Moving on to the best demand currently of the month for Alpha Loomians. In general, it goes to Gleam PvPs where it shot up to at least a Gamma or more. However, similar to PvP Loomians that I have said earlier, some PvP Loomians may not be well appreciated in the PvP community. As a result, some Gleam PvP Loomians may not be in good demand. Let me know if you want me to collate a list of PvP Loomians that are overrated in Battle Coliseum by hitting the like button and comment in the comments section down below as well if you want me to do so. For the best demand of the month or probably for the rest of the years if there's no change in events, for rare root gammas, the best demand would be a Gamma Operaptor and Gamma Shachi. Gamma Operaptor is one of the best rare root gamma out there with the best color palette as compared to Gamma Igneal. Note that the most favorite color palette for Gamma and in general goes to purple, blue and black as well. As for Gamma Rome, the best demand goes to Gamma Protogon and Gamma Dusket. In this case, Gamma Protogon not an SA1 can be used in PvP and its color palette is pretty likable, similar to Gamma Dusket as well. The reason for Gamma Dusket was pretty similar to Halloween Dusket and so if you really want to earn a profit in trade, just focus on collecting Duskets and nothing else. Last but not least, I will be announcing the best demand of the month for items. The top 5 best demand goes to stat resets. Stat resets are useful for all players. For rare hunters to reset the training points for their rare Loomians and train it properly in order to sell it for higher price and for PvP players to reset the training points just because it was wrongly trained. Top 4 best demand goes to antimaterite and new meteorites in general. Players who do not have time to play the event will be demanding for new meteorites in order to get the new saddle and antimaterites in order to evolve their Cosmiors. Hence, during this event, if you have extra meteorites, try to sell them off as much as you can. The top 3 best demand goes to Ancient Scepter. Ancient Scepters are only obtainable for players with a mastery level of 51. As such, players are desperately looking for one in order to complete mastery of Pyramid to unlock Gamma version in the wild or evolving it for PvP. The top 2 best demand goes to Gummies even though it is obtainable through Battle Coliseum. TP training your Loomians take a lot of time and players who are lazy will bulk purchase it at Battle Coliseum and for those who doesn't do PvP battles, they will overpay those gummies that they needed desperately. Lastly, the top 1 best demand for items goes to shards and it is very predictable for this one to come at the first spot. Shards are currently priced at a shard for 2 common alpha gleams and might be fixed forever in demand unless it is obtainable through Battle Coliseum like Power Fruits which I doubt so. Even if the NPC player Milo came during the event, the value for shards still remains thanks to a higher demand during events alright. That's all I would like to say and remember to get this video to 60 likes in order for this series to continue. Last but not least, do head over to my community post and look out for polls related to demand and value videos. Also, don't forget to share this to your friends as well. Cheers.